Hi, loves. It's me, She. I appreciate you being here with me, a part of our amazing community. Your friendship and your support is what is keeping all of us going right now. And at the same time, you're not alone. I'm not alone. So thank you. Just wanted to take that moment real quick, put that out there because this is going to be a reading that is during these unprecedented times. Is this reading today, I've been told, is about alignment of our values. And in order for us to get through these unprecedented times, we need to know that we're not in this alone. I don't know about you, but I have been isolated for the last few days. I'm off of work for the next 30 days, so I guess I'm semi-unemployed just like everyone else. I am going to, during this time, work on my own spiritual surrounding and my own spiritual growth. And so in order for us all to stay in these energies together that we've been working on together, that you have been, a part of this experience with me that I so appreciate, we have to get through the next 30 days and beyond. And so we're going to see where we are and what we need to do to stay grounded and keep going and what's happening with these energies and see how much of this coronavirus is going to be for the next 30 days. This is Easter month, guys. We're moving into April. Today is March 31st. It's 11/11 day. So 111. So remember, those powerful master numbers like 11, we do not break it down. And the reason why I'm saying it's 11 day, you add 3312020. It gives you 11. Masterful day, I've been called. I'm using our power Reiki stone and I guess I'm sorry, it was upside down, to help us and give us protection. I want you to look at this stone because this is what is going to help your energy, surround your energy, give you that protection, that extra layer. We can all use a little extra love, a little extra layer of protection every now and then. So I'm going to put it with our beautiful elephant on top of our goddess cards. Before I started the video, as you know, I meditate. And I say a little prayer that the energies that are coming through are not to be distractive with just me, but to tap into all of us that are in this moment at this time on this beautiful earth, this beautiful place we call Gaia, Mother Earth. So, what was tuning this energy right now are these two goddesses. And our first goddess is Hera. So Hera, the Greek goddess of alliance. And when we're talking about this healing, welcome to conscious healing. My name is She. If you're just joining us, this empowering goddess right now, she's a number 2. So we have 20. It goes back to we're in the year of 2020 of vision. And so 2s are simplified as choices. So this Greek goddess, Hera, isn't she beautiful? She is the wife of Zeus. And as the wife of Zeus, that means this powerful goddess understand what alliances mean right now. And right now, we are in an energy of receiving aid from greater wisdoms to help us get through this time, to get through this level. What we're happening in the world, we talked about it on the last videos I've done since last April, we're coming up on our year anniversary, that we are in an alliance. We are in a circle. We are collaborating and connecting on bringing together our energies so that we all can benefit from the energies and the power of what's happening in our lifetime. This season that we're coming into, I'm going to talk a little bit for a minute about the moon that's coming up. Okay, so our next full moon is scheduled for April 9th, around 1:48 p.m. In the afternoon Eastern Daylight Time. So just wherever you are in the world, just know that around 1:48, 1:50-ish, the moon, even though the sun will be out, the moon will be out in her glory as well. And they call this moon the worm moon, because the ground is softening. Spring is officially moving in to her grace and in the season. So this is the time for life to start blooming. And some are predicting that the coronavirus is driven by temperature, and that as it warms up, the virus is supposed to start to decease its attack. When I say attack, it is in full attack mode right now. Many have died, and I don't even think that we realize until maybe not even till later down the road, further in the year or next year, when science and everyone has had a chance to, around the world, to really take note of, to really take account of, to really do the data and the research to say how devastating these last 6 months have been. Because from what I understand and listening to other science, I even have a scientist in my family, that this really kind of started around October, November, but by December, it was coming on the radar around the world. And they were saying things like unknown, something was happening. These words were being spoken, that something was happening that we had no control over, and it was coming, and it was going to be life-changing coming into 2020. So by the time we got to January, the virus was in full threat. It was happening. It was growing, should I say, it was spreading. Here in the United States, where I am located, it hadn't quite reached here in the numbers. Now we have here in the United States, have the numbers are alongside and the deaths that are growing to compare to what we saw before now in China and Italy. It's like Italy, it took fire. It was like a fire that spread it, and lives just were falling. So with the energy of Hera, and this is why we're having this conversation, these alliances now are going to be more important than anything we've ever seen before. And when I'm talking about alliance, because we're moving into a spiritual season for the Christian faith. It is the resurrection. And before you can have resurrection, you have to have death. And so we went from the spirit of birth to now we're going into death. And beyond death, we have the rising of the phoenix. We have the resurrection. And in that alignment of resurrection, the great goddess, Hera, is here to say that when she had to face the evidence of, the many betrayers, the betrayals of her husband Zeus, the king of the Olympic gods, she had to stand up to what was happening, that betrayal. Right now you could be feeling lost. You could be feeling even, which I've heard for some people, tensions are high because we're like basically on a martial law lockdown. Everybody's been told to stay home. Don't, you can go to restaurants, but it's only to pick up food. But we're basically on a shutdown and a lockdown. And it's still happening. Some companies are still laying off. They didn't do it sooner enough. So some people are just trickling into isolation. And in the isolation, even with us being with our families, we become tense. We become very stressed, maybe, because we're watching the news. We're watching what's happening in around the world, and it is a very sad time. It is a very disheartening time. So for healing to happen, Herod comes in to teach us that your willingness to, know that this will only empower you through this time of, we can say it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of our leaders. It's a betrayal of our employers, that some of us now are without income. Without income, you don't have the basics in your life. So the energy of Hera says, when healing happens, that's because we are going to face our own simple place, our simple awareness, our simple alliance right now with each other, with ever, on a scale of where our gods are or whatever you worship, whatever your faith that keeps you going. You have to do some with self-love, self-compassion in these moments that we find ourselves in despair, or when we find ourselves being tested by the ones we love, because now we're sharing spaces. If you're not alone, that means you're sharing it with a roommate, or you're sharing it with a partner, or a complete family, or families find themselves in this space and this time. And it's time to have compassion and love, and don't make any anxiety decisions, because this too shall pass. And our next goddess that showed up is Nyx. And Nyx is the goddess of secrets. And her number is 3. And threes, yesterday was a 33 day. And we had 2 power numbers back to back, yesterday and today. Today is 11, yesterday was 3s. Those 3s also, we do not break it down. Those 3s, when they come in doubles like that, it's a master number. It's a powerful number, meaning that Spirit, God, divine presence is here guiding us. So stay in tune. And when we get a little fearful or anxiety starts to creep in, that is when 10 minutes of breathing and meditation can make the difference between light and dark. So I think my next video, I'm going to see if I could come up with actually do a breathing meditation video where I'm teaching or helping you. We do it together where we do a meditation and a breathing technique for maybe about 10 minutes. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. We can do it one-on-one, of course, practicing social distancing, or I'm going to do this video and maybe I can share it with many. So this goddess is saying to surrender secrets, okay? We know what secrets are. That means things that are unknown and things that are unseen, things we cannot see. So sometimes you just have to surrender the need to know. Because when things, excuse me, when some things start to open up, they choose to stay hidden or to be mysterious. So this Greek goddess Nyx, she shows us the veil. Remember we talked about that veil? There's a thin veil that was coming in January that the 2020 meant we could see, and that the veil was starting to be thinner and thinner. So right now, we may not know for sure, what it means right now with the virus or, even our own past. But we do know that we have to trust that because this beautiful, beautiful goddess with all the sparkling gold, do you see that sparkling gold that just surrounds her essence, that gives her that halo of gold glow? That means it is divine. And we have to trust in this moment, in this time, that it will pass and we will move forward, and that the secret will be revealed for why this time had to pass, why this time had to come. We have to trust that all will be revealed in divine timing. The goddess Nyx. Woo! Wow, that went, I just wasn't expecting that to be that length or that expression would come from those beautiful, beautiful goddesses when I saw them. I didn't know what spirit was trying to convey, but it makes sense. Guys, I can't make it up. These cards are an energy, an entity. They have a life, a spirit of their own. So we're going to go with we left our goddess cards. They're still here. And we're moving to our normal shaman cards that have been channeling and pushing these energies and actually revealing and helping us to see and open us up to what's happening all around us as a collective and a whole. So, dear shaman, is there any more cards? I had a card fall out. I know those goddesses were very powerful and the energies are with them. So I guess there's just one card that came that is only wants to share and deepen that experience of the goddesses. So let's see where we are. The goddesses. All right. Okay, guys. Woo! I just saw that cancel on the bottom, so I know she's not there. So let's see where we are. And I'm going to put these cards so I can make sure you see this card. And then I could just put these goddesses down here so you can see them as well. Because they are and was basically the energies for March 31st. Vision Quest. Wow. Vision Quest, guys. We had this card in our last reading. It's our only card from our shamans. It's a 6. And it's I'm laughing because by now I hope you remember the simpleness, the simple word. I try not to, when I explain the numbers, the energy of the numbers, the symbolism of the universe is how we can read what spirit or the universe or the planets or the stars without understanding the total in-depth understanding of astrology, but it all goes together. And because I know very little about astrology, but I know more about numerology. And so I do understand how they all work together. I am not an expert at doing astrological charts or astrological chart readings, but I do understand the foundation of the planets, the earth, the sun, and the moon. And it's all based on these cards, the tarot cards, the shaman, understanding the path of the earth, understanding the spiritual being, the divine essence that is here amongst us all. And so this number, simple terms, is the 6, and a 6 is perseverance. So right now, what we're being called to do is to persevere, because I don't think it's going to get easier, at least for another 16 days. Easter Sunday is April 15th, is our Easter for the Christian faith. And I believe that we're going to see some other phenomenal, unexplained secrets that may not make sense yet to us until the resurrection, until the rising of the phoenix, until the ashes have been burned and the spirit has arose. So what I'm seeing in the vision quest, because it's all about seeing. It's all about seeing. Can't you see, guys? Have you been seeing? Have you been praying? Have you been contemplating? Have you been meditating? Now that we all are what we call homebound, that it's a great time to, and I pray that you are in good health. I pray that you stay in good health while the coronavirus, or whatever name they want to give the virus, it's deadly. So you have to take it seriously. So if they say stay in, do social distancing, human distancing, wash your hands, take vitamin C, zinc. When I say self-care, just a simple thing of having self-care and compassion for yourself, that means that you will make the right decisions at the right time to take care of yourself. That means we are not putting ourselves in harm's way. We're not putting our loved ones in harm's way by the things that we do, our actions, meaning a couple of weeks ago, there were pictures about people going to beaches, kids doing spring break. They're just going to concerts, continuing in the beginning of us understanding how powerful and deadly this pandemic was becoming. It was able to do more damage because people were not heeding the call. They were not listening. They were not seeing. So now that the vision quest is amongst us, everybody, it is time to face your fear. It's like the what do they call it? The going into the dark, the shadow of the night. You know, it's like embracing your mortality, because when you go face to face with spirit, you totally get it. No one needs to put fear in you that you're going to die if you don't participate in how we survive this time, so you will not be a part of the body count, that you are not a part of the story that is lost, that your story ends here in this time of pandemic, because your perspective, your reality was flawed. So this is an opportunity, guys, right now that life is offering us to remain on our own quest, to go indoors so we can write a new chapter in our lives. And sometimes you can't do that until you become still. Now is the time to meditate, to spend that time alone with spirit, to spend that time having a relationship and a self-love for ourselves, so that we can meditate on the light when the dark starts to so when the sun starts to rise, and this full moon that's coming on the night is going to be in the sky opposite of the sun, and they're going to change places. So when that moon comes back up and goes back down, and that sun comes back up on April 15th, you will come out with another vision. And I'm going to have to leave it there because I'm not home alone. And I can hear a lot of stirring, and I think you probably could hear too. And I think that was my signal to end it right there. Until the next time, guys, I truly, truly appreciate you. And just remember, we are not alone. Namaste. I pray for you. Please pray for me. Namaste.